guys, in this episode of Paige's Thoughts On, I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts to the recently released, or should I say leaked, scene of Fear the Walking Dead's best villain character, Troy Otto, showing up once again. I'm sure most of you have probably already seen it. I'm not really gonna risk showing it to you because of copyright and because it's potentially being leaked and not really released properly, because there's still like 3-4 months until we actually get the episodes, and I'm not even sure whether there's like a proper release date mentioned about the episodes anyway, so it's a long time from now still, but it's been released. We finally get to see the King once again. And I just kind of have to talk about this. Like, usually I don't do these kind of like short update on the newest thing in the Walking Dead universe kind of videos, unless it's like a teaser or a trailer or anything like that. Or if I do talk about something, it's generally when I also am doing some other kind of Walking Dead video, as you might end up seeing in some of my future Paige Thoughts On videos, because this is going to be released completely out of order with other Paige's Thoughts On videos that I've done. This is going to be released most likely at some point early September or late August, depending on when exactly I posted. Maybe even like genuinely like late August. And the last video that I recorded was, in terms of Paige's Thoughts On and reviews of The Walking Dead, was the Dead City review. So you're probably going to have to wait until 2024 to see those at the rate at which I'm uploading. But yeah, I just have to talk about this scene because, I mean, ever since I saw it, I just can't stop thinking about it. I just can't stop rewatching it. It's nothing really spectacular. Hell, people have criticized it for even being a little bit kind of like underacted or less impactful than it really should be, because the characters barely react to Troy being back. But I gotta say, I love every second of Daniel Sherman, aka Troy's actors, acting in that scene. It's awesome. Like, I really enjoy it. It's really fun to see him back. Like, yeah, he's probably not really gonna be 100% his old self, quite the same character. Like, you know how characters like Strand are obviously still very different. Like, they changed during the soft reboot, and even characters like Alicia changed and everything. But I would say this, at least since season 6, the characters do actually act more like their old selves. Like in seasons 4 and 5, the characters didn't feel like themselves. Like, Strand didn't feel like Strand. Alicia didn't feel like Alicia. Like, they said things that they would have never have said before in like the OG 3 seasons. Like, clearly you could feel the different writing style and dialogue style and everything. But in season 6 and onwards, for one reason or another, the showrunners did actually start to write them more like how they used to be. Hell, you can go back to my review of episode 2 of season 6 where I point that shit exactly, because I remember how cool it was to actually once again hear and see Strand act like himself when he throws the bucket of shit against one of Virginia's people, you know? It was so badass because the characters actually felt like themselves from back then. And yeah, you still have some lines and some moments where it's still kind of like the Gimpo speak, for lack of a better term, might kind of bleed through, and you could still have things that the characters wouldn't necessarily say, but they act far more like themselves in season 6, 7, and 8 than they did in seasons 4 and 5. And that's true for Troy. Yeah, you can tell that he does sound a little bit different, I guess. But at the same time, he's not that different. And you gotta also remember, he did have a little bit of a thing for the theatrics, because one of the things that people kind of criticize about the scene where we see him show up and talk to Madison and kind of just like walk around and show what she did to him with the smacking of his head with a hammer. Like, he shows his scar and his honestly really badass looking eye. trying to intimidate some other people in the scene. And people say that Troy wouldn't do that. Troy was very to the point and very... he wasn't really theatrical, villainy kind of antagonist. And I disagree. Remember, it was him to who Nick said the famous line, "Your brother is dead because of you, so why don't you stop jerking off about the tragedy of it?" Which is one of the coolest lines in the Walking Dead universe, because it's basically shutting down Gimpo speak. And that's why we all love it. I remember even bringing it up in, like, once again, my season 6 reviews, because it was basically that this season, you know, shutting down all the Gimpo speak bullshit and rectifying all the criticisms that people have had for the Walking Dead universe about the fact that everybody in the zombie apocalypse is like a philosopher, or making inside jokes about how Morgan doesn't die, and all that stuff. So it kind of makes sense that Troy would be a little theatrical. So for the most part, I think they actually nailed his character. Or maybe Daniel Sherman just nailed his performance. Like, yeah, it does feel slightly stilted, some of the dialogue. And it genuinely feels like something that I would write, or should I say more so overwrite, because it feels like a little bit of an overwritten dialogue. Because he mentions how it's been a while. And yeah, that's a good line. You know, it makes sense that he would react like that. But then he kind of goes to explain how he didn't necessarily expect that he was going to meet Madison again. And how he expositions about the fact that he heard her broadcast about Padre. And how he didn't expect that she would still be hanging out with the same people back from Mexico. Like, that is unnecessarily overwritten to kind of exposit stuff. And in my style of writing, which, if you didn't know, I write, or at least try to once in a blue moon, write new chapters to my ongoing zombie story called Dead Inside, which is inspired by the Walking Dead universe. A lot of the time, because of the style that I write, I tend to over-explain stuff in the dialogue and still try to make it as natural as I can make it, but I do tend to explain a lot of stuff in dialogue like that and overwrite it. So I'm not necessarily too big of like a hater of it, because I do it. So how can I be a hater of that? And I don't think it's that big a deal, but it definitely makes the character feel a little bit different from what he used to be. But I gotta say, he looks amazing. I think the eye that he has looks really fucking badass, and I would say it's almost like too little damage to his face, you know? Because, I mean, he got hit with a hammer to the head, to the point where you could see, like, potentially his brain, and he barely has a little scar, and then his eye is kind of blue, like this is House of the Dragon or some shit. But he does look pretty good. It's like, and he even says, "Oh, it's not pretty to look at." And yet, it kind of is, because Daniel Sherman is already a really good-looking guy, and then you give him this bluish eye? He looks amazing. What are you talking about? Oh, man. He looks so good. I'm just really fucking giddy that he's back. I think no matter the quality, I think I'm gonna enjoy the final 6 episodes, because they are harkening back to the original series. I mean, the original 3 seasons, should I say. So, hopefully, we'll get another repeat of what we got in Season 6, where the final 6 episodes are fucking amazing masterpieces, which I don't really expect it to be, but I do expect that there's actually going to be more finality to the episode, to the characters in these final 6 episodes than we got for the main show, because, you know, how people criticize the main show for not really feeling like an ending, and more like not even an epilogue. It kind of felt like just another season and a little bit of an intermission at the end. Like, it didn't feel special in any way, shape, or form. But we already have, in the final season of Fear the Walking Dead, we already have a complete bookend of Morgan's character, with him going back to the house from the first episode of the main show and burying his wife and putting down his son. And considering that we're going to get an episode, we know that we're going to get an episode of Dwight and Sherry at the sanctuary or something. I'm not 100% whether it's gonna be the actual sanctuary, but there clearly is gonna be some kind of episode focusing on them at least. We know that from like teaser shots that we have seen, so we know that's gonna happen. Most likely we are actually gonna either get a wrap-up of the OG cast of Fear the Walking Dead, which at this point is Daniel, Troy, Madison, and Strand, or we will get a spin-off, because there has been talks and rumors about a spin-off of A Fear the Walking Dead, which, I mean, I wouldn't be against, but you never know. So yeah, I just want to gush over Daniel Sherman being back as Troy, because I love that character, dude. He made season 3 so fucking fun. I love him. I really loved his relationship with Nick, and he was just such a fucking wild character and fun character, and Daniel Sherman is so charismatic. I enjoy him and love him so much that I want to find another series or movie or whatever that he is in that I would enjoy, because he's such a fun actor for me to watch. Like, I sometimes get this fascination with certain actors that I just can't really describe. I have the same thing with Nick's actor, Frank Delane. He's a fun, eccentric actor, and there's even this really cool horror movie which I've reviewed on the channel called Astro, in which he killed it, honestly. He was really good in that movie. He nailed that role. And also, the fun thing about that role that he did there in that movie is that the way his character was written and the way he looked, really, I related to. It felt like he was kind of playing me in a way, because I was genuinely exactly what the type of character that he played. I was exactly that in high school. So it was a really cool movie. Go check out that review. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, back to Daniel Sherman and Troy. I love him. I can't wait, man. I'm genuinely more excited for the final 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead than I am for the Daryl spin-off. Which, yeah, it's gonna be fun, but I haven't gotten nowhere near enough of a fix for Troy's character as I have for Daryl. Because for Daryl, I have 11 seasons of the main show, and I'm gonna have another or 2 seasons of his own show. Whereas for Troy, we have 1 season, and now we're gonna have another half a season, so nowhere near comparable. So I'm just so much more excited for more Troy than I am for more Daryl. Even though I'll probably enjoy both, but yeah, I'm just so hyped for the final 6 episodes of Fear. And even more so if we get more Fear after that. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I can say right now. I think I pretty much covered it all. I just wanted to share how much I love that scene. How much I've replayed that scene because of how exciting it is. But yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that scene with Troy being back? Comment your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 3 patrons on Patreon. Deadpool, Corby Dead, and Kaylin McQueen. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me. You have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon, to my Coffee account, or to my PayPal, where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!